Pete Carroll is making big moves to keep the Raiders' defense solid, but his latest decision takes it to another level. What's happening in Vegas that his fans fired up? Stick around because this could change everything. For the silver and black continuity continues being theme of Las Vegas Raiders DL, with Pete Carroll when Pete Carroll first took over as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Both he and partner in crime, general manager John Spies, wasted no time addressing the boatload of upcoming free agents. Continuity is what Carroll had in mind, a sentiment he proved true by retaining both special teams, coordinator Tom McMahon, and defensive coordinator Patrick Graham. That desire for continuity has trickled down since City's coaching staff becoming a staple of the team's defensive line unit heading into the 2025 season. Once Patrick Graham officially rejoined the Raiders' coaching ranks, he made sure D-line coach Rob Leonard was still on board, and once that happened, the duo, Graham and Leonard, fought for their defensive line to stay intact. To SPIC credit, that's exactly what he made happen. More or less, the first move came one day before free agency unofficially began agreeing to terms with Adam Butler on a 3-year, $16.5 million contract, a deal that heading into 2025 makes Butler the 46th highest-paid defensive tackle annually. This is an agreement that SPIC truly deserves his flowers, for already 12 defensive TX have agreed to deals during this year's free agency period worth more money per season than Butler. The Minnesota Vikings, for example, struck deals with 2 defensive tackles agreeing to contracts worth at least $15 million per season with both. And while Butler's age of 30 might be a contributing factor to his incredibly team-friendly deal, perhaps it should also be noted that neither Play or the Vikings agreed to pay at least $15 million per season, are younger than Butler. Butler totaled 5 sacks during both his 23rd and 24th campaigns. This past season, he earned the 8th highest stop percentage on running downs, 16.4% among all defensive tackles, league-wide min, 250 rundown snaps. Pete Carroll continues proving continuity sentiment true. Las Vegas Raiders' defensive line continues benefiting. Of course, Butler is only one example of continuity, being the theme of the Raiders' defensive line with Pete Carroll, Graham, and Leonard, both sticking around. A side that is the second burden of proof is the retainment of Malcolm Koon, who agreed to a 1-year, $12 million deal to stay in Sin City of all the 8 contracts agreed upon through free agency. Up to this point, C's deal is the only one that surpasses $10 million annually. C missed the entirety of his 24 campaign with an ACL injury, but enjoyed an electric 23 season. The Buffalo alum took down opposing quarterbacks 8 times, getting the best of opposing blockers 14.2% of the time. For reference, Max Crosby bested his blockers on 14.3% of occasions. C's 99.1% pressures per snap was higher than Crosby's mark of 8.6%. Even when you're keeping up with the king of the Raiders' defense, it's a fantastic sign. Even if Crosby is the focal point of pass-blocking game plans, the final break of defensive line continuity was late on Tuesday as Las Vegas agreed to a deal with defensive tackle Z. Carter. Carter was picked up by Sin City halfway through the 24th season after being cut by the Cincinnati Bengals in 8 games in Sin City. Carter totaled 11 stops and 1 sack. His 4.8% missed tackle percentage was the lowest among all defensive linemen to play for the Raiders in 2024 with at least 5 tackles. Carter Redash joins a defensive tackle group that consists of Christian Wilkins, Adam Butler, and John Alalo, the latter who earned 474 defensive snaps throughout the season, as he proved to be a valuable piece of Las Vegas defense. Those interior guys will continue lining up beside Max Crosby C and Tyree Wilson. Continuity, the Raiders' D-line is locked in, and Pete Carroll is making sure we stay dominant. What do you think of these moves? Drop a comment and let's talk. And don't forget to like the video,